7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Good effort. Good thing done. Godspeed. Bottom die.
How many G's those guys are going through?
And one D crawl down.
The throttle down call is because they are getting ready to.
That's my way.
Yeah, they know where you see the curvature of the earth. When it enters the atmosphere, it's curved because it's head on.
Right. You know the Earth is here round, so it's following around. That's why it looks like it's not like it's going down.
Up. They have the station of correction.
Well, it's tungsten. They don't need that much.
Yeah, the fuel's empty out of that tank because they brought it.
Then the next piece drops.
Yeah, they can all where you see the curvature of the earth.
See how it
One
is how
now,
it's
Chris,
curved?
is that
That's
first
why it
stage,
looks
it's
like
all phenomenal.
You know, that first stage, we're going to be excited to see that, but the world that Bob and Doug are living in is just making sure that that engine is continuing to burn, that they're still on the right trajectory. All the systems are looking good, and it looks like they are. As we see them just watching, that's probably a good sign. That means all the automatic sequences are working well. We don't hear too much chatter coming from the control center from MCC. That's a good thing too.
Almost to
And
10,000.
when you hear that word nominal,
Go ahead, Mike, I'm sorry.
when you hear that word nominal coming, no, it's fine. When you hear that word nominal, that's always good. That's the NASA jargon for everything is A-OK. We're looking good, just like we expect. So we want to keep hearing that for a few more minutes and get those engines cut and get them in space safe.
And there's that 10,000 kilometers per hour threshold, which is just over 6,200 miles per hour. And the picture on the right, I have to keep reminding myself that that's a live shot. It looks like the greatest science fiction movie ever produced. It's just so fantastic that the launch was a go today and has been a success so far. Really, really amazing stuff. David Curley, what's the feeling like on the ground? Are you seeing the first stage rocket at all coming back?
Not yet. You can see it. It's got about another 3 minutes until it'll do its entry burn, and there are 9 Merlin rocket engines on them.
Terminal trajectory.
They say everything is normal with their trajectory, meaning they're heading onto the right path to try and get on the effort to catch up to the space station. So you're seeing in the first stage, you can see those grid fins that you mentioned, Chris Jacobs, that will help guide it. But at 8:45, so plus 8:45 coming up in about 2 minutes. You'll see 3 of those 9 engines fire to slow it down. The first stage doesn't have any of that protection when it comes back into the atmosphere. So the way they overcome that is by firing the engines and slowing it down enough that when it re-enters the atmosphere, it won't burn up. And it'll be a 34-second burn of that entry stage of those 3 engines to bring us in. And seeing some of these pictures of Doug and Bob in the capsule is just remarkable. We haven't seen a lot of American astronauts fly.
Still good.
And just to clarify, that picture on the left is the Stage 2 rocket propelling the Crew Dragon capsule. The picture on the right is actually the Stage 1 Falcon 9 rocket returning to Earth. So those are actually moving in opposite directions as we pass the 15,000 kilometers per hour mark, which is approaching.
Yeah, that one on the right is a picture of the second stage falling, and it's still
You know,
falling.
Chris, SpaceX would love to get this
And what they
booster
do is
back.
they burn the
And as we
engines on it to
mentioned
make sure
earlier,
it
they
falls
learned a lot
straight
when
and
they
can land it on a
get
ship.
these rockets back and take a look at
It's
it.
not
But
like
it
it
is
dumps in the
second.
ocean anymore.
That's the picture on your left. The second stage, as Massimino said, that's what you want to burn. You want that burn to go exactly as
Look,
it should
straight into
on
the
the right
atmosphere.
trajectory. This was an instantaneous launch. They had to go at the right time. There's your start, your entry burn on the right. You're seeing it. It's a little bit early, but they're coming.
Falcon 9 rocket is
So
coming
this is
in
the
hot,
burn.
literally.
This slows it down. This will go on for about 35 seconds, as I mentioned, just to slow it down. And if you watch those grid fins, you can start to see them kind of move. And that's what keeps this, as we heard earlier in one of the pieces, you know, landing a pencil, that's what keeps it north and south or up and down as it's coming down back into land. And it is
just
landing
said
on a
that
drone
you
ship
saw
in the
those
Atlantic.
start to move. Nearly
So
22,000
that burn is over.
kilometers per
The
hour.
next thing we're going to see,
Terminal guided.
we will see that at 9:27
Impact Carl
plus. Everything's good, they say. Those are the reports from Mission Control. So coming up in about a minute, we'll see the final burn. And as Davenport has told us before, you don't always get to see the landing because you got a camera that's getting shaken, and this is a rocket actually that's coming back. There, you lost the picture. That's kind of what happens.
And there's the 25,000 kilometers per hour, which is 15,534 miles per hour. So again, continuing to accelerate as they make their way to orbit.
Impact Darla step. Impact shutdown.
There's the second stage engine cutoff right there. And that will be
That's
jettisoned
good news,
soon as
Chris.
well.
That means that they've got their.
Abdominal orbital insertion.
There they go.
Launch escape system is disarmed.
That's great news. And that's even better news. So they're in the orbit they're supposed to be in. They have just de-armed the escape system. They are where they're supposed to be at the right time. And in a couple of minutes, we will see separation of the Dragon and loss of that second stage. That's really good news. And Chris, you asked a little bit about the atmosphere down here. There were some people here, even though they didn't open the gates, who were applauding as that Falcon 9 took off and really ran our chest.
And it looks like Falcon 9 has returned successfully to that drone ship. Just amazing
Look at that, it
technology
landed right on the ship.
that quickly, in under 10 minutes, that Falcon 9 rocket has propelled Doug and Bob into orbit and has returned safely to its drone trip.
And they just
I mean,
happen to have
hats
the ship
off to
exactly where it
SpaceX
was
for
going.
developing that technology. Truly incredible. Now, Mike Massimino, if you'd like to
Sorry,
weigh
I
in
wasn't paying attention.
if you'd like to weigh in at this stage, Mike Massimino, Bob and Doug now, you can see they're experiencing weightlessness. They're breaking out their mementos that they brought from home. What are they experiencing right now?
Utter joy is what it is, and I'm very happy for them. This is great coverage. Those cameras we have, that's another advancement. We didn't have those cameras in the shuttle program. We had we used to call it a lipstick camera. One camera we mount on the back of one of the flight engineers, and that's all you had. Now we've got them all over the vehicle, inside the cabin, outside, on the rocket. It's just a wonderful experience we all can share, but they are feeling utter joy. They are euphoric. They are sublime. They are really happy that they got through that launch system, through that launch sequence. They're really happy to be in orbit and to bring the United States back. Both of these guys are military officers. Bob from the Air Force, Doug Marine. They are so happy to have done this from American soil again. It's a great day. day, not just for the United States, but for the whole world, to have the capability to launch from the U.S. again with people inside. And they are just so proud and so grateful that so many people made this possible for them to be a part of. And so they're happy that they're there, and they're proud of being on the team, and they're very, very grateful for what we've done today. And all of us can be proud of what we've accomplished.
Mike, just 11 and a half minutes into their 19-hour journey, so a lot longer to go before they reach the ISS. What do they do now for the next 18 hours and 50 minutes?
Yeah, they get ready, they have to transfer
Unclench,
to an
change their
orbital
pants.
stage. We used to call it post-insertion. I'm sure they still call it the same thing. There's usually no rest for the weary. There's plenty of things to do. They're gonna have to set up their cockpit so they can get ready to do their rendezvous. They're probably gonna get some rest coming up here, I would think, before they do rendezvous at the final rendezvous and docking. They'll probably maybe
Oh,
get
look,
some break
check it out.
see how they're feeling. That's the other thing. It's been a while since either of these guys have been in space. Doug, it's been almost 9 years, and Bob maybe just a little bit longer than that. I was a Capcom for his last flight, so they've got to get their space legs back. And sometimes you don't feel as well as you'd like when you're first on stage.
There's the triple screen of the two astronauts. The Dragon and the Falcon are basically, actually it's the second stage now, are on autonomous power. But Chris, we really want to pay attention to that first stage. As Davenport says, it's a secondary mission, but it sure is cool to watch it land on that ship out in the Atlantic.
Quickly approaching 8,000 kilometers per hour, which is nearly 5,000 miles per hour. They are really moving. And Bob and Doug appearing very, very cool, calm, and collected in the Dragon capsule. Amazing to get that live
Mama
shot
saying go that
of what
fast.
they're experiencing. Want to bring in Mike Massimino. Mike,